Warning, you're about to watch a video that contains spoilers. If you do not wish to have Loki's finale spoiled, click off the video, you dingus.
How's it going, guys, and welcome to the very first Cosmic Couch Conversation, a series where we're going to give our thoughts, opinions, reviews on the latest in pop culture. Today's conversation is, of course, about Loki. This series kept us all at the edge of our seats throughout and delivered on things that comic-heavy fans and casual MCU viewers could appreciate. With the season finale releasing late last night, many are left with unanswered questions and possibly even a distaste after the finale. My name is Joey, and with my co-hosts Shark and Blessious, we're here to talk about exactly what happened and maybe clear up some questions that you all might have. Boys.
First of all, I have two things to say, and I made some clear mental notes for it. One, I love how, like, in most of the Disney Plus shows, they have, like, you know, little variations to the intro, the Marvel Studios thing. This one, it's so good. Like, you hear like the original repulsor blast from Iron Man powering up. You hear Cap. You hear so many events, and then it cuts to, you know, universes, and you see the time stream. You see everything, and you hear little things, little variations, and then it goes straight to outside of the mysterious castle. Again, spoiler free at this point, but like literally, we're about to go into spoilers.
From here on out. You better have watched the finale by this point. Come on. What are you doing? You were warned.
Let me just say one last thing. Sylvie. I want to just say that Sophia Di Martino, who plays her, rocking the Michelle Pfeiffer hair.
Yeah, I can agree. I
was like,
she's,
whoa, that's
she's
Michelle
done great
Pfeiffer.
in this series. She's done. I think her character flows quite well. So, if I'm not mistaken, boys, we kind of have three like different perspectives of this series. I'm a big comic heavy fan. I've been following this with fan theories every single week. Shark, you watched all of it basically last night. So you just got the binge out of the way. No surprises, no fan theories.
I'm more of like a casual, Marvel watcher. I don't really like there's some stuff I didn't get. Like, I was a little confused, but like I was in it for the ride. I think I had my own way of like consuming it, right? Because like I was confused, but I was like, whoa, this is a
that's good.
That one episode, like, who's Sif? Like,
well, of course that's good, because now we have different perspectives that we can talk about, and different things that, maybe you missed, or maybe hell, even I missed that, you taught or you saw in a binge, who knows? And Bless, I think you were closer to me of watching it every week, trying to catch up. But yeah, I think we all have a very unique perspective, so I'm looking forward to talking about it with you guys, because we have not said anything. I don't talk to these people outside of this video, so
I'll talk to you talk to the actors.
No, you guys.
I don't. We talked last night. You liar.
Yo, for the video, Bless, the content.
The video. No, that's very true. That's very true. I do want to say one thing about before they enter the castle. This whole episode plays it very well. You have Sylvie that had her entire life taken away by the TVA, and she has this moment of like, whoa, like I'm here. It's like she has like the weird reality of like, this is the moment I've always waited for. And like, even before opening that door to that, library castle, she's just like, well, sheesh, like let me think about this, which is so funny because, spoiler, at the end, it's the opposite for Loki. You know what I mean? Where he's like, whoa, wait for it. And she's so gung-ho about like her decision. I think it's just so I love that little twist. Yeah,
I definitely agree. And another thing too is it's interesting to see though how she didn't have that initial like shocked reaction in the beginning when she first was going to meet the timekeepers. Maybe, not only because she didn't think that she would have been able to kill them right then and there, maybe she even knew that the journey wasn't completely over, or maybe now, after more of a journey, more of a connection with Loki and the people she's met, maybe now she's more of like well, is this how it all ends? I guess. And
she's never thought about life after this moment.
Yeah.
And like
So
she's there, and she's just
you
like,
could probably definitely see that reflection in this episode.
yeah.
So I have to be honest. Personally, very psyched for the end of this season. I think they wrapped it up pretty nicely with a bow, which is I guess a hot take, because a lot of people I've been seeing are really upset at how this season ended, and honestly I can't blame them, because
Really?
for a few minutes after I kind of did sit there and was like, well damn, now I have to wait 6 months to 2 years to see how this keeps going.
I like
Well,
how it
that's
ended
not-
like mysterious. You
Yeah.
know?
Mhm,
Yeah,
mhm.
like
It's like,
The more I let it sit, I became
Yeah.
more and more
Kinda like
excited for
a-
what this all means for the
Yeah.
universe, really.
Well, if I could look, I'm that guy, pal. If I could say, if we could hold off on the ending just for a little
Of course,
bit,
yeah,
I
no.
will say that I feel bad, but hashtag spoiler, there is going to be a season 2, which is awesome because WandaVision, I can't picture WandaVision having a second season. I can kind of picture Falcon and the Winter Soldier having a second season.
Yeah.
But those things lead into driving the narratives of the MCU and movies.
Mhm.
And WandaVision really ties into this because the multiverse of madness, which is going to be a horror movie.
Yeah.
That's directed by
Oh.
Sam Raimi.
At which
that
we
means-
just found out today that Loki will be appearing in that movie. That will be the next
cool.
time we see him.
Oh,
So
that is hype.
not
That
only,
hype.
which is what we're probably
What?
looking at, is we're going to be looking at the House of M, which is a comics that explored Wanda, Doctor Strange, and Loki being all in the same little group. Editor's note here: I'm very wrong about this. House of M does not mean what I think it means. Just putting that out there. Don't hurt me in the comments. Thank you. Or so I'm led to believe. If you disagree with me, go ahead. Hey, hit those comments. You can disagree with any of us at any point. Just saying.
Let us know in the comments. What you know what?
Are we dumb? Let us know in the
Am
comments.
I a dingus? Okay, the door's open and I have to gush about a certain character.
Go ahead. I know you
Can we
will.
talk about Miss Minutes?
Listen,
Okay,
I've known she was sketchy from the start. And my logo is a clock. Like I'm all for clocks. I'm all for time. Miss Minutes. Never trusted
I'm
for a
gushing about
second.
it in a different way because first of all, we never really did this before. But if you don't know, I'm an artist myself, a voice actor, and there's a voice actress, Tara Strong.
Tara Strong, baby.
If you were born in the '90s, you have heard her voice through so many things: Fairly Odd Parents, Teen Titans, My Little Pony, Powerpuff Girls, Rugrats, Boondocks, freaking Drawn Together, Ben 10,
Anything.
Danny Phantom, Loki.
She definitely a recognizable voice. She's on TikTok as well, as I just found out that yesterday.
Yeah, she's Harley Quinn at some points too. And I think her big TikTok that got off was like her sitting on Mark Hamill, his lap, and she was acting like Harley Quinn, and he was doing his Joker. I thought it was really cool.
That's kind of banging. I actually really like that. I love those two. So yeah, you got to appreciate her for that. But the character always sketched to me. So it was kind of interesting to see her finally like fully flesh out.
She always like. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I kind of like the little clock thing. I thought it was a little silly at first, but I don't know. In a way, it kind of fit in well to me. I was like, whoa. Because I remember where like Loki's trying to like
swat her
hit
away.
The clock. Yeah, and she's like, "Whoa, what are you doing?" He's like, "Is this recorded? Is this live? Or do you know what I'm doing?" It's like a little bit of all or something. She said it was like, "Whoa, this is trippy."
So that's when we started really questioning like what is she? Because she's not just like a little logo or a mascot for the TVA. She's also something that could be living. And so now we found out she is.
Yeah. She really got sus in not this episode, but the one prior, where like she's trying to vie for time and like
with Renslayer,
about like the space time ship,
the void ship or whatever.
Right.
Most likely.
Was that a lie? Also, you had the head of the TVA, Ravana. I think is like insane in some points too.
What I'm seeing with her is just a big kind of like in denial kind of thing
yeah.
of like, there's no way that everything I've done for like she mentioned eons for her. There's no way that what I've been doing for this long is all for nothing or is all fake.
Right.
So even though it's like presented right in front of her with Mobius coming in and like saying like, this is all for nothing, what do we do? She's still like not ready to just turn around and like and accept that.
Right. Yeah. And you as you see through it, before we get to, the grand villain, which I will say Ravana is up there on the villain chart for me. Hopefully I'd like for her to get a redemption. But you see that, hey, like I forget like the agent, the Minuteman agent number. No, Hunter B-15. She goes back to 2018. She lures like most of the Minutemen there, and he's like, Minuteman 11. He's like, what are you doing here? You can't go any further. And then you see,
then she pops out as that school teacher.
Like, yeah, in 2018. So yeah, it's crazy. It is just crazy to me. And like everyone's like, hey, the time works different here. And if you remember Ant-Man, when he went into the quantum realm, and when he came back, what felt like 5 minutes was 5 years.
Yeah.
And so that makes me wonder, like, is the TVA in the quantum realm?
That could certainly be interesting. Something that I'm wondering, it kind of more of on like a funny thing, is if B-15 brought like we're assume like most of the time captains or like higher ups to that point, how many times did Renslayer's variant have to say, hey, what are you guys doing in my office? People kept just barging into her house every like 20 minutes or something like that, because we're to assume that she brought a lot of people there.
And those would be different, reality spikes too. Those would be different timeline variants.
That's something to think about.
Well, if that was me, if that was me in 2018, I'm like, why is the government in here?
Yeah.
Like, what?
I'd be freaking out.
Take your silly sticks and get the heck out.
Did anyone else feel while watching this season or whatever, like, did it test your own reality? Did it make you like, whoa, am I a Loki? Am I a variant?
Well,
like,
shows with
like a
yes.
Yeah. Shows with like time and like alternate realities are always kind of get you like that. Like what would have happened if I tripped on a rock in 12th grade or something like that? Or it always kind of makes you think like,
yeah, like it does make you think.
Everything I do matters, right?
I think this whole show, like, coming in like a little confused, but like I think it's done well, where it's like, man, I'm just tripping balls,
I think they did it very well.
I'm just like, whoa.
I think they've handled it very well.
Balls, man.
A little bit of a closing, like, I guess, thought on Renslayer, or like a little speculation on what she's doing now is we see at the, I guess, closer to the end, not fully the end, she gets that letter from Miss Minutes, or like or I guess from the big bad. Yeah, the big download. And then she kind of disappears. She kind of dips.
You know what I thought was funny is like, friggin', Owen Wilson, Mobius, he's like, come on now, wow.
And he didn't say it, dude. He didn't say it.
I know, but like,
so
that's
mad.
The best I can do to Owen Wilson. But he goes up and he tries to ka-chow a little bit, and then freaking Renslayer kicks his butt, relatively speaking. And he's on the ground and he's just like, wow, just ka-chow me,
just do it again. Yeah.
And she just like,
she's like, no, you already know how to escape that realm. It wouldn't even matter.
He probably has one of those pads on him.
Yeah.
So what's the point?
Yeah.
And I think that's why he was like, just ka-chow me.
Yeah. Like, just do it. Well, also I want to think that he's kind of over it too, because of course he does feel betrayed, and then she claps back with him betraying her, which I think is a big like hint to say that she is just fully set in her ways of like, you betrayed me, this is what I'm doing is right, we have to keep the mission going almost.
One thing I thought was weird was because she was just like, we have to keep that mission going, but then she leaves through the portal, and then he's like, what are they gonna do? Wow. And then she's and she's just like, see how to have a free will or something.
Well,
and I'm like,
Well, see, because that's the thing is she said or whatever she mentioned that the only person who should have free will is the person on top. And so when she leaves and says, I'm going to go find free will, she's going to go find the person on top in this situation, probably meaning Kang. And so what I'm speculating here is that she is going to release Alioth, much like she did in the comics after Kang was defeated. Because after Kang was defeated in the comics, his love interest, Ravonna Renslayer, goes and releases Alioth or something along those lines to fight the Avengers. So what I'm assuming now that our Kang is gone, or I guess the He Who Remains, He Who Remains is gone, he gave her instructions on how to end the multiversal war if the Lokis didn't choose to do that.
In the Loki series.
Yes, I think she's definitely going to be. We're definitely going to be seeing her again in season 2. Probably a bit more deranged, probably a bit more conceited, and possibly we'll even see some more variants of her doing some other bad shenanigans. So could definitely be interesting for season 2, I think.
Definitely. One, after Joey said that, if you don't know, we have a podcast that we're just starting called The Cosmic Couch.
That's right.
And this is just a little bit of a variant. See what I did there?
Wow.
Whoa, look at that.
It's a little bit of a variant of that. But as you can see, our lore master Joey. Let's get this man a raise. We're in talks of a Patreon, so let's get this man paid.
Hey.
We're gonna come up with some cool ideas for the podcast, and if you would like more things about this as we go through and talk, we plan on covering Black Widow, and anything
Star Wars, video games, you name it, pop culture, we got it. It's gonna be a ton of fun. We hope you guys join us.
And if you guys tweet at us on Twitter enough times, maybe we will review
your tweets.
All Batman movies.
I've never seen a Batman movie. That makes you mad. No, I've never seen a Batman movie. I'm not a DC. Can you tell what comics I weigh into more? Definitely not a DC guy myself, but you probably clicked out of the video because of that. But
you're the guy, Bless.
But you're that guy, Bless. Don't worry.
Guy,
Who knows? But again, back to Loki.
Speaking about the guy,
we got the guy. We got two of the guys. We got a 2-in-1 package for who is in that castle. This has been like on my mind for weeks of who we're gonna see at the big bad, who's gonna be at the top, and we got both of them, dude.
Yes, and the thing is when WandaVision came out, everyone was like looking into like the hex formations and being like, this is what's gonna make the multiverse, man. Inside is different. That's like a different variant of the Vision.
There were so many,
and
then they butchered it.
That guy's Mephisto in that one. And everyone got crazy with the speculations, and then everyone was like, "Oh, well, it was Agatha all along," which I have a huge crush on Agatha. But the show was like the old school comics threw the baseball, and they knocked it out of the park.
I was very satisfied by the ending. Again, like I mentioned, it was a bit of a cliffhanger, a bit of almost like a
thing I've never seen,
like a 4-hour trailer to part 4 of the MCU. Because honestly, Kang is going to be this season's a season, I guess, for the MCU. It's going to be our Thanos. We're looking at a brand new Thanos level villain who's going to be, in Quantumania, is probably going to be a big part in.
Does he get more evil?
Yes.
We could be seeing. We could be seeing.
Wow.
Even more variants, even more realities where he's
and all those variants just want to kill each other. So if I could be, go ahead.
I think it's kind of cool how we get to see the more laid back version of him.
The good, probably the best version of him.
The good one. Where he's villain, but listen, everything's in order.
He's like the burnt out villain.
Yeah,
that's exactly what it is. Yeah.
Crater. Please, can you just do this?
Hey guys,
I don't want to do it.
Today's video is sponsored by Honey.
Made out of Legends.
I will say, one thing that I was sitting in my bed at, almost 1 a.m. at night. I have a 5 a.m. shift in the morning, and here's this villain like sitting on his desk, like, and he's talking like this slow.
He's like eating an apple.
I know, it's like, dude, can we get to the punchin' or something? Like, he's sitting there, and today we're gonna do this. And an amazing actor. Like, I'm so glad that they got Jonathan Majors
He was good.
to play
I
that.
love
I
him.
can't
He's
wait to
awesome.
see him in Quantumania as like the big bad gang too.
Yeah.
And like he denied even knowing what Loki was. For like, someone tried to, are you gonna be in Loki? He's like, I don't know what that is. So like, he's been hiding this from us for so long, and then to see him, have a cheeky little bad guy appearance was just so refreshing. So
Like,
well paid off.
So like the reveal was cool, and he was
Yes.
like, I know what everything you're gonna do, like literally, and he hands up the papers
Yeah.
and everything,
The script.
the script, and and then he has this, and he's nonchalant, he's eating an apple. I thought it was really cool because like it was like performance theater,
Mhm.
because there was some cool things, like you could see like the apple, when you bite an apple and you leave it out a little bit, it's gonna get a little
Yep.
gunky. And like you could see the apple was doing that, and like it was like, and it was performance theater to me, and I loved it. I loved how like burnt out he was. He was like, listen, I just am done with this.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
and
A lot of relatable characters in Loki. Who knew?
yeah. And he's like, listen, I'm not lying to you.
Yeah.
Literally, look. And then he has that moment of like, it was like like JD. I mentioned this to you guys, but JD Witherspoon, who's a friend of mine
Mhm.
and Sharks, said that it was reverse Get Out. The black guy trying to get like the two white people to take
just
over, right?
replace him.
And like, but the thing is like there's that moment of just like that almost Get Out shot of like the pan that's just going slowly towards his face, and he's like looking, and he's like nervous, he's excited,
Yeah.
and then you hear like the
lightning strike or whatever. Yeah.
and then it like pans out, and he's like, huh, and it's like eons of just like him doing this, and he's like,
He
"Oh,
doesn't
I'm
know what
kinda
happens
tired.
next.
What do I do?" Yeah, and he's just like, hey, if you kill me, there's gonna be a multiverse war, or you could take over. Well,
Either way, he wins. That's the thing.
Either way, he wins. And the thing is, he's like, hey, listen, I'm just gonna be coming back, so
Yeah.
whatever.
Like he knew that.
Yeah.
Well, that's I think a big reason why he sent that message to Ravonna, because I think even though he didn't exactly know what the Lokis were gonna do, he's kind of putting in a failsafe anyway, with her being like super loyal to him and everything. He's probably saying, go find Eliath, go find this other Kang, and fix this, because he's gonna try and set it all back on track. There you go. See, that's what I'm saying.
We need a Patreon to get this guy paid.
Just saying. That's all I'm saying. No, I've been thinking about this a lot, and you can even see like the growth of our Loki too. Like, he's offered the throne to all of time and space, and he's like, hold on. Can we think about this? Like, I don't think this is a good idea.
It's the opposite of the start, because Sylvie's like, hey, like, this is the moment I waited for all of my life. I just need a minute, and like she doesn't even get that minute because the door's open.
Yep.
And I have to say, like, there's like a little scene where it's like, hey, listen, you're a murderer. You killed thousands, because Sylvie probably did.
Yeah.
And then and Loki, technically, that's like
His
from
thing.
the original Avengers.
Yeah.
Loki, like, he's
He didn't.
shitty dude.
That eyeball scene still exists. That was him like a few weeks ago for him. So it's kind of.
And like maybe it's because he could like go through and see what like his like what he did and like his sacrifice, or maybe it's like him seeing classic Loki and seeing like what happened if if he survived, and like how he'd be so remorseful, or maybe I don't know if you saw it in last episode with classic Loki, like when it was like panning underground, they had Mjolnir, and like in a little tub was Frog.
They had Throg.
Throg, and he was like trying to
get to it. Yeah.
And it's It's so cool because like he did mature.
Yeah.
But at the same time, he is so narcissistic that he fell in love with himself.
Okay. There's a lot on that. I got a lot on that.
The way I saw this whole series, like I don't know, you probably saw it differently, but I was like, is this whole show telling me to love myself? Is
That's
this
a
what
good
we're
point.
getting at?
That's a good point.
Self-love.
I personally,
Self-love.
the way I've always seen it, and one of my friends posed this to me. He said, "Be honest. If you were cloned and you were a girl, would you have sex with yourself?"
I would
Yes.
love me in all the right ways.
The answer for me, always yes. Outstandingly yes.
Yes.
And that's the thing, is like, does that make me a narcissist? Maybe.
Not
but
outstandingly, but
oh,
yes.
okay. Listen, this is for me. But no, but the thing is, it's like, honestly, to be completely honest, the kiss felt a bit off, and I think that was because it really wasn't like a real kiss, and she was trying to distract him so she could toss him away.
Oh.
But to me,
In my eyes, I was tearing. I was like,
it was. I'll say this: it felt a lot less forced than some other pop culture kisses that I've seen.
Honestly,
Well, no,
I
you
thought
bring
that
up
was
Star
going
Wars.
to be like the, I guess Nexus event or whatever. I thought things were gonna blow up. I think
it
the way
kind
I-
of where it is. It does.
I think
from that point.
I think the buildup for that for me is that like they're not supposed to kiss, or else the whole time and space just breaks if they do.
Well, that was one of the biggest things too. Is that's why that Nexus event really started, was because it was for the first time ever two Lokis, cooperating with each other, or like, really getting along, because Loki has never been able to make a connection with himself really.
Right.
And the thing was that I kind of wanted to look for with their relationship was kind of more of a familial one, how Loki has with Frigga or Thor, because those relationships are kind of what makes Loki, as we saw like even in Loki variants, like classic Thor or classic Loki missed his brother, whereas child Loki killed his brother, so
that could be I saw some theories that maybe he really didn't kill Thor.
Maybe. Yeah, I can totally see that too. But nevertheless, that connection with his brother is really what makes Loki, which is interesting because not once does Sylvie ask about, or talk about Thor at all. So we're either to assume that she doesn't have a brother in her timeline, or she was just too young to. Okay, Blessious way made what?
Natalie Portman is her Thor.
Whoa.
Why?
Because she'd be like the Thor movie, right? That doesn't mean like maybe like that could be Thor's variant.
That would
And
also, but
and like think about it. So
I see
there's
that happening.
So there's a new Thor movie coming out.
yes,
Natalie
Love and Thunder.
Portman is going to be Thor, right? Which was in the comics. That there's like that multiverse of it, and maybe in Natalie Portman's realm, the Natalie Portman-esque character on Earth is Thor, Chris Hemsworth, and in Asgard, Thor is Natalie Portman.
I love that. I hope that happens.
Yeah.
Like the time and like multiverse stuff is like my kink, man.
Well,
Like, I
that's
love how mysterious and confusing it gets,
Mhm.
and like I love, man, it's awesome.
That's the
hope
thing
it's-
with
yeah.
that's the thing with the end of this episode too, really, is we have to realize that this is the starting off point of so many possible things.
Yeah.
Spider-Verse, X-Men coming into the MCU, like the Fantastic
Well,
Four.
most of the
I'm
bad
just saying,
people
but
don't
they
come
can
in,
do
but yeah.
they can do anything from this point on. They can right so many wrongs that they have before. The
I'm gonna
Sony
bold
Spider-Man, the
something.
Sony Venom. Like,
If you could bring this thing up, that I really just bolded to 34
I'll
points.
toss it up. Yeah. What? Let me see what it says. You are in this chat that I'm missing.
Sorry.
I see that.
literally-
Yes.
So like
I
the day
see what
before
you're
Loki
saying.
came out, there was, and this is like, well, people are like, you see like IGN, like Deadpool joins the MCU with a reaction video. And it's like, him and Korg from Thor Ragnarok. and they're talking about this new movie, which was originally a Fox production, that it was in not development hell, but just like COVID, postponing it and everything.
Yeah.
But it's funny because Taika Waititi, I think I said his name right.
Yes.
Is in the movie, and he plays Korg and directed Thor Ragnarok. Is in there, and so is Ryan Reynolds. But it's interesting because obviously Deadpool is something that the MCU wants, right?
Yes.
You can kind of see like possibly like a Hugh Jackman, maybe not, maybe not. If I could pick people from the MCU, it'd be Magneto, Professor X.
Are you meaning Fox or
the Fox? Yeah, if I were
X-Men,
to take anything from Fox's X-Men, it'd be Hugh Jackman,
definitely.
Patrick Stewart and Magneto
And Quicksilver.
And Quicksilver.
That's my pick. That's probably the best on-screen
I'd
speedster
really
we've ever
love
seen.
them to find a new Cyclops, because back in the 90s, Cyclops was cool and wasn't hated.
Like them to be able to not butcher Rogue every single time. But anyway, X-Men is X-Men is X-Men.
Is Deadpool
is Korg. So who honestly knows? But that's the thing is with this season finale, yes, it's kind of open-ended. Yes, it leaves like a lot of questions. Breaks my heart how that ending scene with Loki and Mobius ended, which I can also explain if you guys want me to. This opens up so much stuff for part 4. It's gonna be I honestly cannot wait for just how much.
Well, this leads into Korg is the bad guy, or not Korg, Kang is the bad guy of Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania.
Yes.
And it was funny because he was asked if he was going to be in Loki, and he just said, "What's that?"
He was like, he played dumb. Yeah,
it was
every time.
Awesome. And then this also leads into Multiverse of Madness. This leads into the December Spider-Man movie, which I expect
this December. And that's the thing. I think we're getting the trailer this week, possibly even today. That's the thing.
I just want to say that whenever the new Spider-Man movie comes out, I am going to cry because
it's going to be so good.
Tobey Maguire, I know it's a meme or whatever, but he was my childhood Spider-Man, and I loved him. I was super sad that he left, but hearing about the good news but hearing him like coming back and like having this like
rumored,
like the spider or rumored,
come on. At this point, they couldn't. They can't not.
At this point, it's gotta be.
At this not,
gotta happen.
they can't
come
not.
on.
That would be.
So supposedly, you have Amazing Spider-Man's. I think Lizard and Electro.
Mm-hmm.
And
then we should be getting Vulture as well, because there was some leaked Lego sets that came out with a new Vulture, and Vulture is my all-time favorite Spider-Man villain because
I love Michael Keaton.
Hold on, I got all my dad's original comics from Spider-Man. Ignore my Pez is falling. Right here, baby.
No,
and let me tell you,
make that full screen.
I'll get it for you. Hold on. I need to find it. I need to find my Vulture comic, dude. One of my favorite ones. I'll make this full screen, baby. You see that? I've had this since I was cool. I've had this since I was like 6,
I used to
dude.
have those comics. So when I was a kid, I had
The Amazing Fantasy, baby.
Shop. Yeah, dude. When I was a kid, I had a comic shop that sold Pokemon cards, and I would always like get Pokemon cards in the Spider-Man comic or something.
Yeah. Banger comics, and I honestly cannot wait to see more Vulture. I cannot wait to see possibly more Scorpion as well. We could be getting Scorpion. We also could be seeing Miles for the first time as well, because who knows what the hell they could do. They could do so much right here, and
isn't
especially
Donald
since
Glover like technically a character that would be a bad guy.
He could be. He is Miles's Uncle Aaron, which in Spider-Verse was the Prowler. So we could see him returning as a villain, or in this version of the MCU, we could see him possibly dying, and then that leading into Miles, being friends with Peter or whatever. So many possibilities, and with Thanos' snap, maybe Miles could have been younger. Now he's older. Or maybe see, there's
because I think
so much they could do with that. Exactly.
I think Donald is owed to be Miles IMO. Well, to me, because I I'm gonna sound like a boomer. Back in my day, back before he was Childish Gambino, he tried to be Miles, and he did.
I think
he had this huge thing of him being Miles, and I'm all for it.
Yeah, I am too. Although, whether or not he actually is, we'll see. But I'm definitely excited, and not to at all bring the mood down at all, but this could also have some waves in the new Black Panther movie that we'll be seeing, because with of course Chadwick Boseman's passing, rest in peace. There's really not going to be a lot that he can do in this new series,
and you have to handle that very respectfully.
And of course, that's the thing, is they can't just retcon him. Obviously, I don't think they would ever do that.
I hope Disney learned a lesson, and I don't mean this in any disrespect, with Princess Leia.
I totally agree.
In the Star Wars movies, maybe it's like the CG stuff might not be the best way.
I don't think
handle that with a lot of respect and thought, and
I personally wouldn't want to see that at all for this.
And I don't think anyone would. I think that would become like a meme.
Well, not even a meme, just something that's like, are you kidding me? Did we really do this again?
Yeah.
But
you have Feige, not Kathleen Kennedy, which I don't even think Kathleen Kennedy has like the power she had anymore in with Star Wars.
I definitely think that Kevin is gonna take this in a way that I think we could all enjoy. But I mean, that's all to be seen. The thing is, possibilities are endless right now for the MCU as a whole, and that excites me, because I like Marvel movies, as cringe as that is to say nowadays. Especially,
it's not cringe at all.
Well,
if anyone tells you that's cringe.
That's right. That's right.
For me, as like a casual viewer of Marvel movies, I am excited again. Like, I feel like I got pulled back in.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I am immersed again in the whole universe thing.
Yeah.
So I'm very excited. I don't know. I love like the endless possibilities, like this mystery. Like I think Loki really like hooked me back in like really hard. I was like, whoa, this was awesome.
And I it slipped my mind. What did I say I was going to explain? There was something that happened at the very
ending
end
of like how when Loki was coming out after him like getting pushed out of the portal by Sylvie.
That's right.
And I guess Sylvie kills Kang. I don't know why I keep going to call him Korg.
No, don't kill Korg.
Don't kill Korg, please. So like you have this moment of like, oh sheesh, and like he's just sitting there on the couch where he was technically interrogated for days by Mobius, right? And then he comes running out. He looks for Mobius and B-15, and finds them, and they're like, "Wow, who are you?" Like
the thing is though, that why that was obviously so heartbreaking, but the thing is Loki, that's not his Mobius.
Yeah.
Sylvie pushed him into a different reality. Now that there's so many branches, he is now in a branch where none of that ever happened. And so you hear Mobius say, what does he want us to do? Referring to Kang. Now that Kang is in at least that timeline, probably the ultimate. He who remains, exactly.
Wow.
And what are you talking about, man? God.
And like you see like the statues, like they're not lizardmen.
And Loki's like, what did I miss? Because what happened? Sylvie ruined it all. And you can really see.
I don't think it's Sylvie that did that. I think it was purposefully set.
Yeah, that's the thing is it was always supposed to go this way. I personally knew he had to die. That's the thing. But I think for Loki, he was kind of like a little shocked that Sylvie couldn't, kind of control herself, I guess. But when you have to think about it as, she didn't hesitate for a second to throw a sword into the Timekeepers' faces in the first place. And this is all she's ever wanted. Even though at the end she looks like, what now?
What have I done?
What have I
done?
She knew she had to do it.
And like you see like like that solid line become just it went completely from like a to kind of like a tree branch to
everything, because that's every being in the universe is different decisions, making different things, which is also going to be a tie into What If, the new animated series that Marvel's coming out with, which is going to be so cool.
Which,
I cannot
if you
wait
need
for
a
that.
voice actor, I'm available.
He's available. This is all we do. So
Because there's certain actors that are probably going to be in it. I think like you really do have Chris Hemsworth as Thor.
yes,
I don't know about like your Tony Starks. I can see.
I
it
do
being
know
somewhat
that
cheaper.
is Chadwick Boseman's last recorded performance.
Oh,
so
wow.
he's going to be appearing as Black Panther for the last time
Oh, that is sad.
in that
Wow.
series.
I was
It
curious
is sad,
about
but at
what
least we get
that was,
to
young man.
see him in one more project one last time, and I think that it'll be a great way to like send him off as well, and not in that way, but you know what I mean. So there's a lot coming, and like, boy, am I hyped, dude! It's gonna be so cool. But I was very, very happy with how Loki handled everything. The series, not the character. He kind of screwed up, but that's okay. Well, I guess actually to put it in another perspective, Sylvie kind of had her like Star-Lord moment of like, we know it has to happen, but why are you doing this? Why are you going in for the kill just because you're mad? It was kind of
But
like
she ultimately sat on the floor and had that
like,
that
great.
Anakin, what have I done? And like you have like my whole life's work is done.
And that's the thing.
What do
She
I
wanted
do?
him to beg. She wanted him to like,
And he was
react,
just like,
fight back.
reincarnation,
He did, and he
baby.
was like, "See ya. I'll see you soon." Because he knew as soon as she killed him, the Kangs were coming. Kangs were coming.
Okay. Oh. Well, yo, Shark. Let's start a new segment here. If we can have a nice little thing on screen.
Oh, sure.
New segment. Shark, what was your
Oh.
favorite piece of this?
Oh my god. I'm glad you asked me that, because my favorite part, are you talking about like the whole season? Because I have
for sure.
one
Yep.
specific part that I loved so much, and it sparked me with joy, and
Mhm.
it was episode 2. I think it was at the start, where they played the Bonnie Tyler song "Holding Out for a
Any-
Hero."
That
I love that song so much that whenever I'm like taking on like a Dark Souls type boss and I'm like losing, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, this is it. This is where I need to like, step it up and like get pumped. I
Yeah.
always play that song. And when that song came up, I was like, I love this show.
Yeah.
Like this, God, man, I love that song. That is the most hype song to like run or like
That's
fight.
that's the song.
That's the song that I just get so hyped, and that part is like my favorite. Other than that, though, I know that it's silly, but seriously, I love the whole like variance of Loki, and I kind of saw myself in like in Loki. I'm like, man, I wonder what would happen if my own variants like were in the same room. Like, what would happen?
Evil
Would we,
shark,
like,
dude.
Yeah,
You would
like
have
would
an
we?
evil shark. Yeah.
Yeah, or like like, will I like ever like find myself? Like, I hope my variant is successful in life. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's a
think
good
too.
dream for your variant. Thanks, Shark.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll
because
appreciate
like
that.
yeah, it does spark the thought, because like I know a lot of people, like, dude, there's parallel dimensions, and like but like think about it, like, dude, like I like what Shark said, like I hope that like my variant out there is like doing good. I wish them nothing but success, and like if they're successful, contact me, give me a little bit of money.
Yeah, man.
There's a Jeffrey Bezos version of Bless somewhere out there. Just
could
king
you
of the world.
imagine? And I'm just like trying to get to Mars so I can
Yeah.
be the president there.
But that's the thing. Maybe in that universe, if you met, he would try and take over this universe too, and that's where we'll be seeing Kang next time, hopping over trying to conquer our universe as well.
You know what? I'm very confident that he would just hire me as a voice actor.
I think
sure,
he'd know you'd
whatever.
like that. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah. I'll be like, hey, whatever you want, boss.
Bless, what
I
was
think-
your favorite from this series?
Literally what I said, like, just like it makes you think, and like I saw myself in Loki, because like I don't know, I think I try to be a good person, and I think every person makes like some like bad decisions in their life, and
Cuts out people's
and-
eyes. Yeah.
maybe not that, but like maybe like something, and like maybe you were humbled by something, and I just love that, right? And like like there is the kind of weird thing of, like, loving yourself, and like, but like think about it, it's just you're loving yourself, and like there's not like you're finding something in you that you like.
That's right. Yeah.
And it might have taken, two Lokis about to, maybe do it, but like think about it. Like what, like as RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell are you gonna love somebody else?
Damn.
Can I get an amen?
Amen. Yeah, facts.
Amen, brother.
Oh,
I think my thing's self-love. Yeah.
I
the
also saw it that way
overarching
too.
the overarching point to the series. Yeah. I think if I had to summarize what I loved about the series the most was just how much they just fed us with like references and callbacks and all this other stuff to other MCU projects, comics, like the most of it. Like one of the things that really got to me was episodes 4 and 5 when we first get to the Void and Loki's just walking around. My eyes were like darting around the screen trying to find anything that I could to like see. Oh, I'll see this in a new Rockstars video later on or something like that. Just to see lore, just to see pieces. Seeing stuff like the Thanos copter, like they didn't even try and hide it. They didn't try and like brush out the word Thanos. It's just a helicopter that says Thanos. Like I know that's
from a comic.
Well, of course, yeah, that's straight out of a comic book
from
page,
like a 1960s
where he just has a helicopter.
Yeah, and he's in New York City just doing
doing stuff
and gets arrested by cops.
Yeah, imagine, dude. Like, and that's so funny because like usually in the MCU when they have like something out of a comic book, they try and like make it modern, make it cool, make it look different. They didn't touch it at all. And like that's something that I have to be like, this show did absolutely right. Is like even like the look of classic Loki. It's like that is straight out of a comic book page, and that's so good to see, so refreshing to see sometimes. Yeah, because you get all this cool like militarized, cool scales, all these new suits that are different from what we've seen in the comics, and then you see something that looks right out of a page from the 90s.
Loki with like what could be like Thor's, helmet.
Yeah.
Or like the boastful Loki, where
with a Mjolnir with a railroad thing to it. Like what the hell, right?
Like, well, I've killed Thor.
All the Avengers.
All the Avengers. Or you could have like an alligator. Fun fact: in the comics, Loki's animal variant is a dog.
Oh, interesting. So I wonder
that looks exactly like Goofy.
I wonder why there's an alligator.
Well, I would love that alligator just to be a random alligator with a hat.
Yeah. Because and you even have that throwaway line of Mobius like saying, I don't remember that. Which at first I was like, oh, maybe that's because there was like a different Mobius variant that doesn't remember it. But then you see like he, nothing comes from Loki Gator, but I can definitely see him appearing in season 2. We'll see.
Yeah. Well, I think that kind of does it for this, man. The things to look out for: Ant-Man and the Wasp, Quantumania, where Kang will appear. Yeah. Probably the new Spider-Man movie that comes out this December.
So hyped
Not
for that.
only that, What If, that is going to be coming out with Disney Plus soon, and then also like that leads into so many more things, man. It really does.
It's going to be great.
The Multiverse of Madness is what I'm hyped for. You have Loki, Scarlet Witch, Doctor Strange in a horror movie. It's directed by Sam Raimi that made Evil Dead and the Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogies with Tobey Maguire. So Bruce Campbell's going to be in it, and I just want it to be crazy. I mean, that's where you're going to see like the crazy Marvel-esque Iron Man and Captain America zombies.
I'm definitely waiting to see what they can pull out of that. Yeah, we could also be seeing the return of White Vision as well. And seeing how the ending of WandaVision is going for Wanda, and see how she's doing.
I wanted to be happy.
Yeah, man. I mean, hell, I want all these characters to have some sort of therapy. Like they all deserve it.
Dad.
They've been through so much, man.
These characters, man. I mean, yeah, you never know. But yeah, closing remarks. Yeah. Loki is at the very top of these Marvel shows that have been coming out.
I do gotta say, this has been a lot of fun listening, and like this got me super hype. Like I am so excited.
A lot to come, including more episodes on upcoming projects. I'm sure you guys would love to do them. I would love to do them, and of course, if you enjoyed watching, hopefully you'll love to hear them.
Yo,
So-
if you made it this far, could you type in chat Anakin killing Yinglings?
Ah,
Hey,
That's
Shark,
the-
could you hit us
that's
with
this
that
Blessious moment.
prestigious outro?
yes. Thank you so much, everyone, listening to our Cosmic Couch conversation here. Just remember, if you guys enjoyed, make sure you support us. If we ever do a Patreon, there's a seat reserved just for you. All right, here at the Cosmic Couch. And thank you so much for
Branding.
listening. If you watched from YouTube, we're on Spotify now. If
As
you're
well,
a Spotify
yes.
listener, check us out. Bless, what's the name or link, whatever, of the
Just
Spotify?
Cosmic Couch, just look
Cosmic Couch,
And
there
probably
you
in the
go.
description below as well.
it up. Yeah,
Yes, but thank you so much for listening. I am one of your hosts, Sharkktooth, here. Thank you so much to Blessious and AbouTimeJoey for the huge Marvel knowledge. This has been a
course.
lot of fun, and I hope you guys watching and listening are as hyped as I am, as a casual Marvel watcher. And we hope to see you again. And thank you so much.
See
There's
ya.
always room on the Cosmic Couch.
Yes.